welcome on in to another episode of Getting Well with Terry and Friends, NFL edition. And we are ready to break down week 3 of the NFL. We will start by looking at the NFL record for the show. Really great week 1. Week 2, kind of a little bit rough, but it's going to happen. Those weeks are going to happen. Bryant is leading in best bets as well as dog of the day. Nick, you're leading over under, and you're in second there in dog of the day. So you and Bryant both killing it. I am currently in the red in all 3 categories. But
Ooh, get your shit together, man. Come on.
I know. But it's only 2 weeks long NFL season to go. And we'll be looking at a bounce back this week. We are just going to jump right into the first game, which is Thursday night football between the Steelers and the Cleveland Browns. In this one here, I'll bring up the odds here. But looking at this game, you can currently find Pittsburgh plus 164 or plus 160 to plus 176. Cleveland minus 190 to minus 210. 4s and 4.5s, 38.5s, 138. So mostly 38.5s in this one. I don't have the exact stats up here, but unders between Cleveland and Pittsburgh, unders in Cleveland in general, unders in primetime games, unders in totals that are 38.5, 7-0 in the last 7. So basically under. I know it's 38.5 and it's a low number, but stats, trends, everything points to the under. The Cleveland Browns, I felt bad about my Vikings loss last week, which any Vikings fan should feel bad after that performance. But the Browns, to lose that game within like 80 seconds, and to allow the Jets to beat you was just insane.
Not only that, Nick Chubb could have fallen on the 1-yard line and they would have kneeled it out and won the game. The only way the Jets won that game was by the Browns scoring a touchdown. Get that?
Yeah, and he said, he's like, oh, I thought the game was over. That was his excuse for not. And he said he knew he should have. So he owned up to it at least. But still, that is the Cleveland Browns being the Cleveland Browns. That's the Browns. So I have no interest in backing the Browns here. I want to take Pittsburgh plus the points, plus 4.5, and I'm going to be on the under 38.5. I don't know who wins this game. I'm not sure that Pittsburgh wins it, but I think it's going to be a close, low-scoring game, something like maybe 17-14. Or maybe even something ugly like 14-10. Who knows? But I like the under, and I like Pittsburgh to cover the spread. Nick, Steelers, Browns. I know you've been cashing primetime unders. Are you continuing to bet that here?
Absolutely. This was the first play I locked in this week, under. And I got it at a 40. So I got a nice line for this game. It's moved to 1.5. Towards the under, so that looks good for my nice little CLV. Hopefully CLV can actually cash some tickets. But yeah, I'm on the under 40, and I'm looking a little bit towards the Steelers, taking them plus the points and on the money line. This was one of those games where I do think the Steelers should win this game, and they're a nice dog here. I think the Steelers are a sneaky team in that AFC North. I said that during the preview show, and I still will stand by that. And I'm thinking 17-16 Steelers here. I'm thinking like an ugly, low-scoring, game-winning field goal as time expires, something along those lines. That's kind of what I'm thinking here. I'm most likely going to take the Steelers plus the points and the money line, and I got the under 40 already locked and loaded.
Isaac says it goes over.
No.
All right. We'll see. Bryant, do you have thoughts here, Steelers and Browns?
Yeah. If the Steelers had a semblance of a quarterback, I would have smacked this money line like without a second thought. I just don't trust. I don't trust Mitch Trubisky enough to do anything. So the points are kind of iffy to me in that regard, and I think because of the nature of how somewhat talented the Browns are, they'll bounce back from losing to the Jets in the fashion that they did. And I guess what the line's at, like 3 now, 3 or 4?
4.5.
4.5. Yeah, 4.5 right now. I don't trust either team with I don't trust the Browns to do that, and I don't trust the Steelers to backdoor and cover that at 4.5 because again, the quarterback. So for me, I'm not going to do any full game plays, but my play, and it's something that I've been very profitable in NFL betting through 3 weeks, or I guess going on 3 weeks now, is first quarters and first half lines and spreads. And I personally, I really like the Browns to get out to an early lead. Maybe all we have to do is them finish a point ahead, literally a point ahead, and we get even money on the Browns first quarter minus a half a point. I think that they do that. I like Nick Chubb. They're going to get a heavy dose of it. I don't think that Stefanski likes or trusts Brissett enough to sit there and let him air it out. He's not going to be able to air it out, too, because Minka Fitzpatrick is in the back of the Steelers' defense. So his defense is still damn good, even without TJ Watt being there. And ultimately, I think that that's kind of where it's at. But I like the Browns to have a good 6-7 minute drive in that first quarter. Even if it ends up with 3, I don't think that the Steelers do enough offensively to combat that. And I think that they'll cash this even money play for us. And yeah, so that's my play in the game. But I'm staying away from any full game anythings. Although I would lean to the under just because that's the thing.
Yeah, for sure. And we'll move on along to the first Sunday afternoon game. I don't know about an under in this one based on what we've seen from the Lions, but you can find Detroit plus 200 to plus 215. Minnesota minus 240 to minus 275. The -1 is an error. You cannot get Minnesota -1 or +1. Those are errors there. But -5, -5.5, or -6 for the Vikings. The same with +5, +5.5, or +6 with Detroit. And then I see 52.5, 53, and 53.5, depending on what you like. It varies by book to book. Obviously, I'm a Vikings fan. I am extremely disappointed in the game that I had to watch on Monday. That was absolutely disgusting to watch. Obviously, it's a new week, and I just don't know what to make of this game. As of right now, I have no plays. I want to look at Minnesota -5, but I'm not sure I can trust them to cover a spread right now. Most likely, I'm going back to Jefferson props. I'll have to look here. He didn't get a touchdown in the last game, and actually, if you're looking for someone for Detroit, Amon-Ra St. Brown, he has just been great for Detroit. You can get him for plus 110 to score an anytime touchdown. Most likely, yes, I'll be taking a opposing team player to get a touchdown against my Vikings because I think he will. And then you can't bet Jefferson touchdown. It's minus 180 or minus 167 right now. So there's absolutely no value there. But Jefferson receiving yards over 95.5, you can get from minus 110 to minus 115 at different spots. That's how I that will make my card is backing Jefferson. He had kind of a quiet game against the Eagles. They really focused on him, which is what I thought would happen. But I didn't think that there would be 3 interceptions in the red zone. So you can't really predict that. But I think Cousins is not playing prime time in this game, so that will definitely help him as well. But I don't know. I obviously want to bet the Vikings, and I think the Vikings win this, but I don't know if they cover that spread, and I don't know if I can trust them. I'll have to see it first. Nick, Lions, Vikings, what do you think here?
I've already locked in a bet on this game, and once again, I beat a slight line movement. I got 52 for the over in this game. It's already up to 52.5, 53, and 53.5 in some spots. I expect more offense in this game, and I like the Vikings a little bit in this matchup here. I'm looking to lay the points here, a little bounce back spot. We got that little angle of a team that didn't cover the week before versus a team that did cover the week before. Last year, that was hitting at like 67% or something along those lines. And usually that plays into the recency bias a little bit when people look at it. You'll get those inflated lines for reactionary plays on what they saw last week. So I think Minnesota, there is value with them here in this game. I'm going to look to take them here. But my only official play at the moment is over 52. I got it at a couple days ago.
All right. Yeah, Minnesota's offense was so bad against Philadelphia. It scares me off the over. I know it's one game, and I should just.
Philly got good defense.
Yes, yeah. It scares me, but because I just watched that whole game and it was just horrible to watch. But I know you shouldn't let one game affect your opinion. So,
by the way, that second half was absolutely beautiful from somebody who had the under 50 in that Minnesota game. Second half, 0 points, gorgeous.
For sure, Bryant, Lions, Vikings. What do you think here?
Yeah, I'm very excited to see how this game kind of unfolds. One thing for me, I was actually just double checking on it before I spoke to the masses here. One thing that stands out is the Lions, how they go about things defensively. Aaron Glenn, he's very aggressive in his approach, right? And he's very blitz heavy. Between Carson Wentz and Jalen Hurts, they're 7-14 with 2 interceptions, I believe, against the blitz so far this year. The blitz, or when playing the Lions, I should say. And we've got Kurt, who just had a horrible performance in prime time, very horrible performance in prime time. And what did the Eagles do? They heated him up in the pocket, brought the blitz in a lot of circumstances. I, taking all that information into account, I see the Lions doing very much the same thing. Obviously, they have a little bit more tape on him because he's a division opponent as well. So they've got a multitude. Dan Campbell has been there now 2 years, so he's played against Kirk twice. He's got plenty of film. Against the same Vikings personnel, kind of know, okay, all right, what can we do here? I like the prop here for total interceptions thrown. Kirk Cousins over half an interception at plus 105. I am taking that largely because I just believe, and it's not, Kirk could very well play great. He could play great, but I think a product of playing against the blitz naturally, and this is just football 101, it forces guys to make decisions quicker than they would like to generally, right? And I think in saying that, you can have a situation where he's trying to get the ball out and he overthrows someone and it just gets picked right over the middle. And interceptions and stuff like that, they generally come in bunches, just like hits in baseball, right? Guy gets hot, he'll stay hot for 4 or 5 games, 6-7 games, and then he'll tail off for 7 games. That's kind of how it goes. And I think that's kind of the deal with Kirk here. Like I said, he could very well throw 3 touchdowns and stuff, and the interception could be inconsequential. But I do believe that pressure is something that could force him into some precarious throws, much like the Eagles forced him into this past week. And I'm going to take my chances with that. I also I like the Vikings to win, though, by 1 to 13 points. And I'm getting it at – hold on one second. I just had it. But yeah, it's a prop. But you can basically get big win, little win, right? And you get the points. So it's Minnesota 1-13 plus 140. I'm taking that, and I'm gonna ride it out. So
interesting. I like both those plays. I'm surprised that the Kirk interception, half an interception is plus money. I think that's
literally just need one.
Good value there.
Yeah, we just need one pick. Like I said, it can very well be a meaningless pick at the end of the second quarter, and they're up, and he's trying to score a little extra points, and he tossed it.
If that was 1.5, I'd be like, no.
Yeah, but looking at the other side, the Lions play a very interesting style of defense by not playing any at all. So
yeah,
I will say this, that the way that Aaron Glenn structures his defense is very boom or bust, right? Because as I was watching the Washington game, because I had Washington in that game on Sunday, a lot of his defensive strategy revolves around those guys. When he blitzes, they play a lot of man. And if guys can't cover, dudes are running wide open. And call me crazy, but the Vikings have one of the top 3 or 4 best wide receiver duos in the NFL.
Yeah, if Thielen shows up this game.
Yeah, but if guys don't cover, Kirk might throw for 400 yards this game. Because you got Justin Jefferson and Adam Thielen on the other side, man. It's risky, but I'm willing to take the risk on it. It's not like I'm sitting there hoping for a money line. I'm gonna be solely focused on what Kirk does. Exactly, Tim. It's cover
the good
zero.
Old cover zero. Like,
that's all it is. It's boom or bust. And it worked, right? It stymied the Washington Commanders for a lot of the game because Wentz couldn't find open guys, and so he was taking sacks, and Hutchinson had like 2 sacks that game. But if it works, you can force mistakes. So
for sure. We'll go along to the next game here. The Baltimore Ravens and the New England Patriots. You can get Baltimore at minus 140 to minus 150. New England is plus 120 to plus 135. 2.5s and 3s, 43.5s and a 44 available in this one. This is one of the past games for me. I think the Ravens are going to be pissed off on how they lost to Miami in their last game. And the Patriots, I'm just not sure what this team is yet. I need a little bit more time before I can be positive on exactly what this team is. So until I know what the Patriots are and the Ravens, a team, I know a lot of people like the Ravens. I haven't been that high on the Ravens. They're basically just Lamar, and that's just my opinion. But I'm not that high on the Ravens. I don't know much about what to think about the Patriots, so this game is a pass for me. Nick, Ravens, Patriots. What do you think of this one?
I'm looking at taking the points in this game with the Patriots, taking the 3 points. My number was a 1.5 here, so I see a little bit of value here with New England at home. I think they're a decent home dog in this spot. I get it; they haven't looked great at this season so far. They did get their win last week against the Steelers. I did have them in that game, and I'm probably going to look to back them again here. It's just a slight lean at the moment. Lean towards the Patriots +3 in money line. I don't know if I'm going to get on this one at all or not, but it's Patriots or nothing for me at this moment. I had the Ravens last week as well. That was a heartbreaking loss to have that. That was a circa play for Tim and I as well. Was the Ravens -3.5. For me, it's Patriots or nothing at this for this game, but it's a pass.
All right. You made poor Tim bet against his favorite team as a circle play.
Well, that was the Ravens. That was the Ravens and the Dolphins, but okay.
Oh yeah, tomato. But it is what it is. Bryant, Ravens, Patriots. What do you think here?
Y'all are indecisive, and I'm not indecisive at all. I'm going to the Ravens quickly. I I've been talking about this since I've been on this, since we've started the NFL show. I do not believe in the Pats. I think that the luster is off. People are starting to see that. Again, another situation with the Steelers, right? If the Steelers had a semi-competent quarterback, they would have beat them last week. And we'd be looking at the Pats being 0-2. I don't believe in them, man. I just do not believe in them at all. Mac Jones is not it. I think Bill is struggling to really like figure out like you said, what this team is. What are they? Like, are they good? Are they not good? Like, are we going to be a defensive team who just runs the ball and we just try to like make games like super ugly and we figure out how to win that way? Or what are we going to try? How are we going to do this? They don't really know. And to that point,
the Patriots fan is not happy.
I was going to say the Patriots fan there.
But to that point, I think we're getting really good numbers on the Ravens here, who have that motivational factor of we just blew a very bad game. Like we should have coasted to a dub. It was a conference opponent, so that could very well come back to bite them in the ass later on this year. And they're going to hate themselves for it if that might be the difference between them getting, a home playoff game as a wild card, whatever the case may be, right? It could very well, and seeding purposes, it could very well come back to bite them. But I think they come out with a plan, and I think they execute. And with that being said, I am going to go ahead and grab the Ravens first half -1.5 at -110, and I'm doubling up. I'm going with the full game -3 at even money. And another play that I liked as well as a game prop: Baltimore total touchdowns over 2.5 -120. Give me that. Those are my 3 plays in this. I'm all Ravens in this whole game. And at those numbers, I feel pretty good about it, right? Because the game can be close. I don't know what he's talking about. But the game can be close, but 3 points basically means that a last minute touchdown will almost all but pretty much secure the spread for us as well. So those are my plays in it.
All right, and we'll move on along to the next one. Another division rivalry. We have the Saints and the Panthers. You can currently find the Saints -150 to -163. Carolina +125 to +135. Threes right across the board. 40.5s right across the board. 140 available in this game. This game's currently a pass for me again. Another one I'm not really interested in. The Saints are the better team. I think that's pretty fair. But I don't trust them really in any spots. I don't trust them as a team. And the Panthers, I took my shot at them in week 1. That was a mistake. I made money fading them last week. And then now in week 3, I think I'm going to pass in this one. If I was to get to anything, it would be the under 40.5. But as of right now, it's a pass in this one, Saints and Panthers. Nick, I know you're pretty high in the Saints. What do you think they do here against the Panthers this week?
Yeah, I'm not high on this game, though. I don't know. I think this line's about right. My power ranking says 2. So some sneaky feeling in me says the Panthers win this game. I don't know what it is, but I would lean towards them. I do think the Saints are a team that can compete for the division this year. Obviously, that loss against Tampa Bay was pretty bad in order to try to do that. This game screams pass to me. Like, I have no interest in this one. If I had to bet this game, like I had no other choice, I'd take the points with the Panthers if I had to. But this game, I think, is pretty spot on the line. and I don't see any value on it, so I'm not going to bet it.
All right, totally fair. Bryant, we're both passing. Are you passing in this one as well?
Yes, 100%. Just exact word for word, almost exactly how I feel about it. What Nick said. It just seems like the type of game where you go in there, you pick a side, and absolutely the other side is the team that wins the game. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you really don't know. It's truly a toss up because you can get great Jameis. Yep, you can get great Jameis, and the Saints will shut down the Panthers and they'll win by 15 points. Or Jameis goes in there and wets the bed, and Baker Mayfield goes off for 325 and 3 touchdowns. I just don't know. I mean, they're 2 wild cards at quarterback, and they're 2 really solid defenses, right?
Yeah.
So you don't know if the total is weird too at that point because you don't know if you're going to get an offensive game or you're going to get these 2 defenses that are fairly good that'll shut these guys down. It's just too much. So I'm passing on it. I'm not even thinking twice about it.
Also, Jameis can throw a touchdown to the Panthers. So
exactly.
Honestly, this feels like a weighted coin toss where I just take the plus money at this point.
Yeah, and I would just go with the Panthers because of the home team, and you're getting plus 130 for it or whatever it is.
Yeah.
But that would be a game that I would wake up on Sunday morning and bet off a whim, just because I was feeling frisky.
Yep.
I have no desire to do that right now while I'm coherent and I'm like looking and analyzing all the slates and stuff. I have no desire to do it.
All right. Adam likes McCaffrey to break out in this game.
I think a McCaffrey prop can be interesting. He has not looked great though this year.
For sure. And talking about games that are passes, we have the Houston Texans and the Chicago Bears. You can get the Houston Texans at plus 120 to plus 130. Chicago is minus 138 to minus 145. I see 3s and 2.5s, mostly 2.5s, 40s, a few 40.5s. I do have picks in NFL this week, but not in this game. No, this is a 1-800-GAMBLER game, I think, if there ever was one. We have Houston, who I think has been better than expected. I think some people expected them to be a lot worse than they've been. So I think they've been a little bit better than expected. The Bears, I was hoping they could do the Vikings a favor and beat the Packers, but that was a dream. That was never going to happen. That was a dream. But, yeah, this is a complete pass for me in this one. There's much other better games to get to, in my opinion. I will be betting Houston 1 week, as I've said, when they face the Browns. But until then, I have no interest in backing this team. We'll go to Bryant first this time. The game of the week, Texans-Bears. What are your thoughts here?
I was looking over this, and there's one play in particular that I might hop on. It has nothing to do with like a side or anything. And Adam, that is a great point, and that's a perfect segue into what I'm about to say. He says under all the way, who's scoring here? Because of that reason, I don't understand why the 3 straight scores by either team is at plus 126.
That's assuming someone scores 3 times.
Yeah, and that's my point. That's exactly why I would go against it. I would say, yeah, like, okay, like, why wouldn't they? I just think that both of these teams are they're bad in their own ways, right? Like, I think Houston Texans are just a talentless team, but I think that they're fairly well coached, right? Lovie Smith is pretty solid. All things considered, he had a good run in Chicago. Ironically enough, he's playing them this week, so that could be a little bit of motivation fact. But yeah, I think that the Houston Texans are the better team here, and I think that they can reel off. I think they can reel off. They can reel off a 3 straight scores. But to that point, I don't know if I trust it enough. So that's the only thing I'm looking at right now. If I had to pick, I would pick the Texans, and I would pick the Texans on the spread. But yeah, it's like Terry said, that is a hotline game. If you betting this, anything less than like a free bet or like a bonus bet or anything like that, you need help. If you work 40 hours a week to go bet this game, you need help.
Now, there is possibility people have inside angles, or maybe there's more angles to this game that someone might have, but
it would be
I don't
props.
see it.
I would say props, if anything else. Or like a race to points, right? Like a race to 10, a race to 15 or something like that. But other than that, that's it. I can't, get that in my brain to bet this. So I'm gonna stay away from it.
All right. Nick, Texans Bears, game of the week. What do you think here?
I need you words. I need to equip you with that 1-800-GAMBLER video. All right. Remind me about that. Because this is definitely one of those games. With that being said, I'm going to look at the Bears on the money line here. I think that they are the better overall team in this game. They're at home. My line for this one's a 3.5. So I do see a little bit of line value here with the Chicago Bears in this spot. And I know they're coming in off of the Packers game. But this is not a Houston Texans team I'm looking to back at all. I think I have them power ranked as the 31st ranked team in football. The only one I have lower than them is the Falcons. The one I have right above them is the Bears. I have the Bears about, on a neutral field, about 0.75 points better than the Texans. So giving the 2.75 home field advantage, I got a line of 3.5 in this game. So this is going to be probably a Bears money line play for me.
All right. Best of luck. And we'll go on to one of my favorite games of the week up next. And that is the Kansas City Chiefs and the Indianapolis Colts. You can find the Chiefs on the money line for minus 225 to minus 275. The Colts are plus 195 to plus 220, 5.5s. I see a 6 and a 6.5, and then the totals 50.5, 50 or 51. And this one here, this Colts team is bad. This Colts team is bad. This Colts team is overrated, but not in my eyes. I see this Colts team for what they really are. Sorry if there's any Colts fans watching. But I'm not a fan of this team. I think they're hugely, hugely overrated. And they're facing one of the best teams in football. The Chiefs, who were supposed to take this step back, have not done so. Yes, they played in a close game against the Chargers last week. But the Chargers are a very good team. I was on the Chargers plus the points, but not in this one here. I'm taking Kansas City minus 5.5. I'm taking Kansas City minus 6.5. I'm taking Kansas City minus 9.5, and I may even go as far as minus 13.5. This is my ladder game of the week. I don't care that the Chiefs are on the road. The Chiefs have the far better quarterback. They have the far better roster in general. They're just the far better team. And this Colts team, yes, they got embarrassed last week against a team that has dominated them in Jacksonville for years now. And yes, they should be motivated, but they have the wrong team to come in to bounce back against. So I like Kansas City all the way, my ladder game of the week. Nick, Chiefs and Colts, what do you think here?
Yeah, a ladder and all that for the team to lose outright. Give me the Colts in this game. Yeah, exactly what Tim said there. Colts outright. My line for this game was 2.5. And that's around where it opened, 2.5, 3. And with the Colts at home, that's where I had this line. And this line has been bet up way too high. We're getting 6.5, and I'm assuming on Sunday you'll get the public to come in and bet the Chiefs a little bit more and push this up to a 7. I think the Colts have a very good chance to win this game outright. We've seen this year after year after year with the Colts. They don't show up against these crappy teams. That's why they've lost how many straight to Jacksonville? But when they play good teams, they win these games. Like they cover, they win. We've seen them in the past struggle against Jacksonville, struggle against Houston, just to go on later. Like last year, they lost both those games or whatever, and then they beat the Bills 41-15. A couple of years ago, they struggled against those games, and they knock off the Chiefs straight up. Yeah, this is a Colts team that plays up and down to their competition. This is going to be a close game, closer than people expect. Jonathan Taylor is somebody I'm going to look for rushing props potentially on, or someone I would look for potential rushing yards on and passing yards. I think that they pound the rock. They keep Patrick Mahomes on the sideline, and they keep this close. I think at the very least, 6.5 points is way too many. I can see this being 23-21, something along those lines, a lower scoring. They're going to try to muck it up here. And I think the Colts are a live underdog. They are my dog of the week. Spoiler to the end of the show here. They are my dog of the week. Colts outright against those little Chiefs.
Little Chiefs?
I know, not little Chiefs, but you know what I mean.
I'm just going to politely pass it along to Brian. I'm not going to mention last week, but the public can be right. That was proven quite a few times last week. And I think this Indianapolis team is definitely overrated, but maybe a little bit in your eyes too, Nick. But that's just my opinion. Bryant, Chiefs, Colts. Do you think the Colts are going to beat the Chiefs this week?
Fuck no. Excuse my language. Hell no, man. No. I don't. No. Like I don't even understand why we even have.
You don't have to convince me on this play even more, there, Brian.
Heck no, man. No, man. I just don't see it. And I think Pittman's going to be out again. Alec Pierce is going to be out again. Where are they generating the offense, man? Like where are they generating the offense from to beat the Chiefs? Because you're not gonna outscore the Chiefs running the ball like that. They're just not happening. They have too many talented players on that defense. They're losing Willie Gay, obviously, because he's suspended for 4 games. It's cool because Leo Chenal, the kid that's backing him up, is an absolute tank. He's a freak. He's like 6'2", 240, runs like a 4'4", 4'5". He's an absolute monster. Yes, Adam. That's another reason why it's going to be it. Indy's going to try to. They're going to think teams have tried to heat up Patrick Mahomes and thinks it worked. It only works if you have the requisite cover guys on the back end to cover the receivers there. They don't. Who's stopping Travis Kelce? I'll wait. No one. No one is stopping Travis Kelce on the Colts. They don't have good enough safeties for that. And so because of that, I am going to I'm going to the full game minus 5.5 at minus 110. But furthermore, I'll give you a courtesy, right? I'll say that the Colts are going to come out first quarter. So I'm gonna skip that. They'll come out first quarter, smack them in the mouth, maybe force a couple, 3 and outs. The Chiefs are going to settle in. And then because of that, second quarter, we're going straight to the spread. And I've got the Chiefs minus 2.5 and minus 110 for the second quarter. That's assuming, like I said, the Colts come out and they're fiery and they're trying to play hard, and the Chiefs have to adjust and say, okay, all right, they're here to play. We got to turn it up a little bit right now. That's what's going to happen. And I like the second quarter spread. I like the full game spread, and I like the Chiefs team total. It's at minus 135 right now. It's over 27.5. I'm going 2 units on that because I think that they are going to put that thing on the Colts. So, yeah.
All right. Well, we seem to have mixed opinion. The Chad and Nick seem to like the Colts. You and me seem to like the Chiefs, but we will see.
It's okay. I've been told plenty of times that there's no chance certain teams win, and then the Seahawks knock off the Broncos, and I've seen it before.
There's also the Titans and the Bills, but we'll continue on. We'll continue on. No, but I was confident. I'm as confident in the Chiefs as I was on the Bills. I'll say that. I'm that's why I'm laddering. I want to be laddering the Chiefs if I wasn't super confident in them. But I'm not right 100%. Everybody can be wrong. So we'll definitely see. Defense play of the day. Bompton over tackles and assists. He's averaging 9 a game. Probably open 7.5.
Yeah. Nick Bolton's going to get a bunch of looks because, again, Willie Gay, starter. He's not playing for 4 games.
All right. Moving on along to this one. We have the Eagles and the Commanders. I'm actually going to use a line that Nick uses, and you might have missed your line if you wanted to take the Phillies.
Yes,
the Eagles here. They're -6 or -6.5. I had -5 written down on my paper here, which I looked at I think yesterday. So they've already moved to -6.5. You can get Philly -260 to -300 on the money line. Washington +210 to +240. 47s and 47.5s. I know for sure I'm not taking the Commanders. This Eagles team is far better than the Commanders, but could I see a reason? Could I see them not covering somehow? Yes, I could see the repeat, kind of like against the Lions, where maybe the Philly underestimates Washington. Obviously, they came to play against the Vikings. That's for sure. They played a full game against the Vikings, but I'm just not sure here. I had -5 written down. I was going to look at it at -5, but at -6.5, I don't really want to take Philly here. But I'm definitely not taking Washington. So as of right now, it's another pass in this one. Maybe Hurts rushing yards might be a play, but Bryant. Eagles, Commanders. What do you think of this one?
Two of my division rivals. I have no place in this. I don't like the Commies. I don't like the Eagles. And I think that it's a division game, man. And Nick will tell you this, man. You know how this crap goes in NFC East, man. Like, it's just foolishness. It takes place at any given moment. And I honestly, to be fair, since I started betting, I generally don't bet NFC East games unless I'm betting just on my team, right? But other than that, like, it's too much volatility in how things happen in the NFC East. It's so weird. Washington looked horrible most of their game, and they'll come out and look like the Washington team that won the Super Bowl in the 90s. Like, that's what that could very well happen in this game. But they also could just look bad, right? Carson Wentz playing against his old team. He's in the division now. It's a lot of weird stuff that could happen here, and I'm not willing to put my money on either one of these teams in this specific matchup. I cashed on the Eagles against the Vikings, but I not doing it. So I'm sticking. I'm staying away and just watching this as a hater Cowboy fan. So.
I was expecting you to say a fan, and I was literally going to be like, what? But you caught on right there. Hey, maybe they'll tie. That would be okay, right?
Great for me. I'm cool with that.
Nick, Eagles, Commanders, what do you think here?
I don't think there'll be a tie because I think the Commanders went outright. My number for this game is 2, and this is one of those, and Bryant mentioned it, the NFC East is some wonky-ass shit sometimes. Yep. And this is a game where it's a home divisional dog that I'm very interested in here with the Washington Commanders. This line opened up at 4.5, and Terry, you said it perfectly. You missed your line if you wanted those Philadelphia Eagles, because they shouldn't be 6.5 point home road favorites against a divisional opponent. Generally speaking, if you're laying points on the road against a divisional opponent, it generally does not go too well for you overall in the long term. I like the home dog here in this spot, plus the 6.5. My number for this one's a 2. So I think that these two teams could be pretty close. I'm not high on the Eagles this year. I wish I bet the Eagles on Monday night. I was leaning their way. I ended up hitting the under in that game. I think this game could go under as well, which would play a little bit into me taking the points here at the Commies. But I think Washington is a very live underdog in this game, and I'm definitely going to be taking the points with Washington. And I know Tim and I said that this is going to be a circa pick for us is the Washington Commanders plus the points.
Yeah, and to kind of follow up on that point, Cowboys played Washington last year with Taylor Heineke or whoever was at quarterback, and we went into Washington as like -8.5, and we were cruising that whole game, and then all of a sudden in the fourth quarter, Dallas just decided that they just we just take the foot off the gas, and then Washington backdoor covered.
Yep,
I remember that. Just foolishness, right? Like.
This could easily be a backdoor cover for sure. This could be
two fluke interceptions, and it was a backdoor cover just like that. And I remember people were furious about it because, like, what happened? Like, Dallas they entered the fourth quarter up by 14, 15 points.
Oh, yeah, I remember that game. Washington didn't win straight up, though.
They didn't win, but they backdoor covered because they scored like 17 unanswered points.
Yeah, I remember that.
And
they tied up the game at one point, right?
Yeah. And Dallas had to score a touchdown, or they hit a field goal, and like I said, the line was like at minus. It was like 9.5 points, and
that's ridiculous for a divisional game.
Yep. And I'm saying that as a Cowboys fan. It happens all the time, man. So, like Nick said, if you're going to take it, I think you have to go with the Commanders on the spread or just outright, because it doesn't make sense in this division.
All right, we'll move on to another divisional matchup here. 2-2-0 teams going head to head. We have the Buffalo Bills minus 240 to minus 260, and the surprising comeback Miami Dolphins at plus 200 to plus 215. I see a minus 5, a minus 6.5, or minus 6 and 5, 6, or 6.5 with the spread. 52, 52.5, or 53 in the total. In this one, I'm not laddering the Bills, but I'm definitely backing the Bills. They have won their last 4 games in Miami. They're 4-1 in the last 5. And they've also scored 30-plus in the last 3 games. I'm also on Buffalo team total over 28.5. I think they keep on with that. I wouldn't be surprised if this is a very high-scoring game, 52. You could look at the over. I know it's a high number, but I expect a lot of points back and forth. But Buffalo is just really good. I think that's basically all that needs to be said. I had them minus 16.5 last on Monday. I believed in them and that much. I'm not laddering it here because I do think Miami is going to put up a good fight, but I think Buffalo is just too powerful and will be able to cover. Probably wins the game. The Bryant's bet earlier that he did the 1 to 13 points. I could see that being a good one for this game as well. I don't think Buffalo smashes Miami, but it could definitely happen. So I feel safe with the Buffalo minus 5 and the Buffalo team total over 28.5. Nick, I was going to say Sabres, Bills and Dolphins. What do you think here?
Yeah. Looking at this one, this is another divisional home underdog that I think could be an interesting look. If you can get a full touchdown with the Dolphins, I wouldn't hate that. And this is a very different matchup than last week with the Titans. I thought the Titans would be able to run the ball a little bit more against the Bills and be able to muck the game up, because I didn't think that, obviously, the Titans did not have the offense to go score for the Bills, so I thought that was going to be their game plan. The Dolphins can go score for score with the Bills, I think. Especially with their 2 fast receivers on the outside with Hill and Waddle. My only concern is Tua, but I mean, you don't have to be super accurate if you're Tua to throw little slant routes to Tyreek Hill and have him yak it up. Like, I mean, this is a Dolphins team that I can see get put up plenty of points in this game as well. So I do like the over a little bit in this spot. I think we're seeing 52s, 53s, something along those lines. I think we can see 30 points each from these teams. I think this could be a high-scoring affair where defense could be optional at times, and we see both these teams just rack up a high-scoring game. If I had to go to a side, I would take the points probably with the Dolphins here. This is just another divisional home underdog for me that I would lean towards the divisional home dog. I don't know if I'm going to get to the Dolphins at all. If I get to the Dolphins, maybe it's a team total play rather than a spread, because I can see them covering their team total, but still losing by 2 touchdowns potentially in this game. So that can be potentially a spot there. But I think the over is the better play than any side on this game.
All right. Bryant, Bills and Dolphins. What do you think on this one?
Yeah. I one of my good friends is a Bills fan. And we were talking about this specific game. And I think the Bills come out, and I think they come actually a little bit flat. I think they come out a little bit flat. They have to go on the road. Short week. They played on Monday and now they're playing on Sunday. They don't get the full 7 days. And they're playing against a divisional opponent, which to this point, now we're talking about it. That's something to consider all year long. Like divisional games in the NFL are just different. They're just different beasts. And it's why people who think the Chiefs look great, but I can guarantee you there's a chance they're going to drop a divisional game to every single one of their division rivals this year. Yep. Just because, like, it's ridiculous.
Or not cover against them.
Or not cover. Yes, I think that's probably the better, more encompassing thing is that I don't think they might not cover every game against those divisional rivals. They might beat them, but they won't cover just because they're just so weird and they're so hard to win. Prime example was just against the Chargers, right? They look.
I can see a backdoor cover here.
Yeah, they look horrible, and I think the same can be said with the Bills. The Bills are going to win this division. I don't think anyone's going to debate me.
No, that's not going to be close.
Yeah, they're going to win the division, but games like this are just going to be hard, man. They're going to be. It's going to be weird. This game could very well be a 6-7 point game going into the fourth quarter. Josh Allen does his thing. Tua or someone has he might have a lapse and someone might fumble the ball and they'll backdoor cover it. So because of that, I'm not going to take anything on a total. I'm going to have the Bills in a money line parlay just because. But other than that, I think I'm just going to watch this as a neutral, and I'm going to look at some passing props for Josh Allen because I think he's going to bomb that secondary. Lamar did it. Lamar had a pretty damn good day against this Dolphins secondary. Who's to say Josh Allen won't do the same? And I think that I would also lean towards the over here. I think points are going to be scored in bunches. So those are my plays. I don't really have anything official yet, but if I did have to say anything official, it would definitely be a lean towards the over.
All right. Tim says Bills by a gross amount. Turnsy likes Dolphins first quarter. IceX wants the Dolphins to win.
I think the Dolphins could win this
Josh
game.
Allen and the Bills. He's not a Bills fan, but that doesn't surprise
Patriots
me.
fan.
He's a Patriots fan. That's like me saying "Go Packers" or something, which I can't. Just saying those two words.
You didn't even say it right. You're supposed to say "Go Pack Go."
No, I will never speak those words. But anyways,
and put a cheese head on.
To be fair, Bills only played 3/4 of a game on Monday. They did rest their guys at the end there, which is totally smart to do. But Turnsy says, "Don't be a hater," and IceX is smiling. But we will go along to the next one here. This is a really interesting game. We have the Cincinnati Bengals and the New York Jets here. Cincinnati losing both of their games so far this year by a field goal. And now they are on the road and favored by 5.5 or 5 against this New York Jets team. Minus 215 to minus 225 for the Bengals. Plus 180 to plus 195 for the Jets. Fives, I see 5.5 available in this one. 45s, 145.5 available in this one. I can't back the Bengals right now. I want the Bengals to succeed. They're one of those teams that they're not obviously they're not my favorite team, but they're a team that I cheer for, and I want them to do well. I want Joe Burrow to do well, but I don't like what I've seen so far. Yes, they should be favorites against this Jets team, but I don't know. I can't take the Bengals this week. I need to see it from them first. I need to see like a convincing win here. If they have a convincing win, yes, it's the Jets, but if Burrow comes out and looks like Burrow from last year and we get a convincing Bengals win, then I'll be more inclined to bet them. But from what I've seen so far, as of right now, it'd be Jets plus 5.5 if I had to bet anything at this exact moment. But I won't be betting that, obviously. But if I had to, that would be my lean right now. Bryant, Bengals, Jets. What do you think here?
I don't really know yet, honestly. I'm still on the fence about this whole game. Okay, Tim. Of course, I'm not surprised that you say Jets outright. I don't know. I really don't know yet. I think the Bengals actually come out and win this game, but but I don't know if I just want to bet them on the spread. I don't know how I want to attack this game, but my lean is towards the Bengals figuring it out and getting this dub. I don't see them starting out 0-3. I just don't see it. So like I said, my lean is towards the Bengals. I'll be on the show on Sunday. So I might have a better I'll probably have a better answer for you then. But right now I'm kind of a pass right now.
Yeah, nothing wrong with passing, and opinions change by Sunday. That's the great thing about doing the show Wednesday is we can kind of have our early thoughts, and then obviously things will change and picks will become official and stuff as the week goes on. Nick, Bengals and Jets. What do you think in this one?
Yeah, I think if there's ever a get-right game for the Cincinnati Bengals, it's playing Joe Flacco and the New York Jets. I'm still not high on the Jets. They should have gotten blown out that last week by 14 points. They should have never even come close to winning that game. If Nick Chubb falls on the 1-yard line, they lose by 14, and we're not talking about a 1-1 Jets team that all of a sudden everybody likes because they came back and they won that game. I think that the Bengals are able to beat the Jets by a pretty significant margin here. I think that this is a 10-plus point game, honestly. My line for this game, I think, was a 6.5, and it's a 4.5 right now. I'm going to look towards the Bengals in this spot. Joe Flacco is not elite. He's an absolute bum, but he is second, or actually he's third in the NFL in passing yards right now. But, I mean, when you're down for 59 minutes and 58 seconds worth of game time, my bad, 119 minutes or whatever, through the first two games, if you're down for that long or tied for that long, yeah, you're going to throw the ball 847 times. Not exaggerating. Don't check that stat. But no, I think this is a Jets team that is bound for a letdown spot after a win last week that they should never have gotten. And give me the Bengals here minus 4.5. This would be, if I had to, this would be my ladder game of the week or whatever. I would take them minus 4.5, 6.5. 9.5, probably. I think this is Bengals in a rout, especially seeing that the Bengals, even though they made the Super Bowl last year, lost to this Jets team. Bengals in a rout here.
All right. We'll move on along to the next one. This is one of the toughest games of the week for me. A game I'm really interested in, but really tough. And that's the Raiders and the Titans here. You can find the Raiders minus 124 to minus 130, Tennessee plus 105 to plus 113, 1.5, 2s and 2.5s, 45.5s right across the board. So I picked both of these teams to win their division in the season preview show, and these are my two uh-ohs. Is neither of them are looking like division winners at the current moment, but now they face each other, so somebody is about to win a game here. One of these two are about to win a game. Yeah, unless there's a tie. But I don't know. I kind of want to go with the over. I could see obviously Tennessee got embarrassed last week. Vegas was leading pretty much. The first half was great for Vegas. But then they completely fell off a cliff the second half and let the Cardinals come back and win that game, which was shocking. So I just don't know. I have a soft spot for both these teams. I want to see both these teams do well, but I don't know where to go in this game. If I had to bet something right now, I'd probably look at Vegas because I think they're a bit better than this Tennessee team at the moment. Nick, Raiders, Titans. What do you think here?
Yeah, these were two teams that I thought were not going to make the playoffs this year, and these are actually good calls for me so far through week 2. I want nothing to do with this game. Last week, I should have listened to my preseason speech where I said that the Titans are overrated as hell, and yeah, they looked like crap last week, and they haven't looked good at all this year. So I think that the Titans are not a very good team. I don't think the Raiders are a very good team. Both of them are 0-2. I think that's exactly where these two teams should be. This is a game I had labeled at a 2, 2.5, and that's exactly where it is. This was the easiest pass on the board.
All right. Bryant, Raiders and Titans. Is this a pass for you as well?
It is. I just want to send a hearty thank you to all the Raiders fans and the Raiders organization. You choked it away, and I cashed that Cardinals money line. Oh man, it was a beautiful feeling. Beautiful feeling. I sat here last week. Yeah. I sat here on the show last week and popped the Cardinals on there, and I explained why. I knew that they would get desperate. Cliff Kingsbury absolutely sandbagged that game. And Josh McDaniels, again, like I said, you can't trust him. Like we tried the Josh McDaniels experience as a head coach. It's not working. But to that point, because of that, I think I would take the Tennessee Titans here, honestly. But this is another game, much like that Carolina Panthers game, that I will maybe bet when I wake up on Sunday morning and I got some, I'm eating breakfast and I'm like, okay, I've already got the rest of my stuff in. Let's just decide. Maybe I want to throw a little extra here and there. But right now, I have no inclination to bet this game. I will watch it, though. I think it's going to be entertaining, but I have no inclination to bet it.
Yeah, this is one of those games where I think I need – maybe you wait later in the week, and I'm going to hope I get 3 and a hook with the Titans.
Yeah.
Then I'll take the Titans.
Yeah.
But at 2.5, 3, this is a pass.
Yeah, no, like I said, yeah, this is definitely something you revisit Sunday morning because you've already set your fantasy lineups. You've already did everything else. You've got all your bets in that you've already, advanced, studied and stuff.
You have a unit to throw around.
And you're just like, okay, what else can I do?
And lines move. So maybe it does go to plus 3.5, and then you're like, yes, I want to bet it.
Then I'll take the Titans.
We'll move on along to the biggest favorite of the week, and that is the Los Angeles Chargers. You can find Jacksonville plus 230 to plus 275. The Chargers minus 300 to minus 333. Sevens right across the board, 47 and 47 and a halves. In this one, I broke this game earlier down on Picks and Parlays in the Power Hour. And basically, my opinion is I'm taking Jacksonville plus the points. Reason for that, first of all, I'm a little bit higher in Jacksonville than a lot of other people are. I was happy to take them last week against Indianapolis, against a team they've dominated. I apologize about Finnegan barking right now. He obviously is upstairs crying, but you can, in this game here for me, Herbert, even if he's playing, I don't think he's going to be 100%. And if he doesn't play, then I think the Chargers or the Jacksonville will cover the plus 7. So from what I heard today, it's in practice, but he didn't throw any passes when media was available. It was the backup that was getting the main passing to the number 1 wide receiver. So we'll have to see exactly what happens in this game. There is big question marks with injuries, but I like Jacksonville plus the points in this one. Bryant, what do you think? Jaguars, Chargers.
I think that there's very much a belief that that Herbert's not playing, largely because, one, on my book, they only have first half lines. They don't even have like the full game lines. But then 2, their LA Chargers total touchdowns is set at 3.5. And the under is at minus 176. I mean, I can't imagine they're thinking that with a healthy Justin Herbert that the Chargers couldn't score 4 touchdowns on the Jaguars. So because of that, I'm going to take that as a sign that, and then kind of couple along with what you've already said. I can't see the Chargers playing him. It's week 3. He is your team, right? Like he's the engine that makes your team go. There's no need to risk him against the Jaguars. Like you take this loss if you have to. But you also have Chase Daniel, who's made so much money as a backup quarterback. What are you here for if you can't get us a dub against the Jaguars?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, literally, what are you here for? And that's not to say the Jaguars are a bad team. They're not. But I think with the defense that they have and the money they've invested on defense and Eckler, Mike Williams, and some of the other offensive weapons that they have, you got to get it done with Chase Daniel as a backup quarterback, man. You got to. I don't know if they'll cover. which is why I would lean towards the +7 with the Jags. But I'm going to take it a step further, and I think that the Jags are going to come out with some energy because, like, okay, we can kind of beat this team. Like Herbert's probably not going to be on the other side, and I like the Jaguars over 2.5 touchdowns at +130. I think that's great value here. And essentially, all I'm doing is rooting. I'm rooting for scoring. I'm not rooting for anyone to win this game. I don't have to sweat out any second halves or anything like that. I might even get a garbage time touchdown because of it, right? Like if Chase Daniel comes out and handles the business, it can help me because I can get a garbage time touchdown to maybe cash this over 2.5 total touchdowns. And it's at +130. That's great value. Trevor Lawrence has looked really good so far. Honestly, it looks pretty damn good. It looks like he's starting to take a little step further, and you can thank Doug Peterson for that. That's kind of why they brought him in, much like he did with Carson Wentz in year 2. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and hop on that Jaguars over 2.5 touchdowns at +130, and I think this is a very good point right here as well. If Daniel's going to play, they're gonna send the house at him. They're gonna send a bunch of chaotic looks, and I think he could be very well susceptible to throwing a pick six or getting strip sacked and a fumble getting ran back to the house. So,
all right, a play I forgot to mention: Riley Patterson, which is Jacksonville's kicker, kicking points. Yeah. It's 5.5. You're gonna have to pay -130 to -135, so it's not the best number, but Jacksonville is going to get some field goals. Like this is going to be, I can see with the Chargers defense, all you need is 2 made field goals, or obviously a field goal, 3 touchdowns, whatever. You just need 6 kicking points. I don't like the -130, depending on how that moves. If I can get anything under -130, I'll be taking it for sure. So that'll be something I'll be watching as we go into Sunday, because I do like that kicker, Riley Patterson. He's been pretty good for Jacksonville so far. And against defensive teams, that's when I want to look at it, is against teams I think there'll be more field goals against.
I also think there's value in that, to what you said. I think that they come out as well. And even if they don't score, I think that they can come out and be the first team to score because of it, right? They're going to come in there with house money because they know they're probably not playing Herbert. So they could be a score first option. My book has it at +142 for Jacksonville. So.
All right. Nick, Jaguars, Chargers, what do you think here?
I think this has the potential to be what was the Bengals and the Cowboys last week, where a team announces their starting quarterback may be out, and regardless, the backup quarterback still covers the original spread because the Cowboys would have still covered the -2 that they were before they announced Dak Prescott out. I'm not concerned over it. I've already locked in the Chargers -7. I'm worried that I may have screwed myself by betting it too early and that Herbert could be ruled out. And if that's the case, then I'll go ahead and I'll rebet the Chargers once that line is adjusted if they do rule him out. Because I do think Chase Daniels is good enough to be able to score against this Jaguars defense, which I'm not super high on, and this Jaguars team in general. And then when you look at the other side, I know a lot of people are going to be looking at the fact that Justin Herbert's not in this game, but that Chargers defense is low-key elite. Like they were able to keep the Chiefs to, I believe it was 20 points. And yes, I know the Chiefs scored 27, but one of them was a 99-yard touchdown return. So they were able to slow down that high-powered Chiefs offense for a while in that game. And I think they're going to be able to shut down the Jaguars defense offense in this game. I can see the Jags team total under in this spot a little bit, because I think that maybe the Chargers take the approach of Herbert's not playing. They need to buckle down on defense and make sure that they just prevent Jacksonville from scoring. So I think also if you're looking at props in this game, Austin Eckler could be someone to look at, because if it is Chase Daniels, or even if it is Herbert's and he's not 100%, expect Eckler to get the ball a lot and receptions as well. someone to dump the ball off to, especially if it's Chase Daniels. They want to give him safe plays. A lot of halfback dump offs will be part of that game plan probably, and then let Austin Eckler go and get yards. Still keep in mind, Chase Daniels, yeah, he's not the greatest quarterback. Obviously, he's been a lifetime clipboard holder, and that's he's the richest clipboard holder I've ever seen. But the Chargers still have weapons. If healthy, they have Keenan Allen, Mike Williams. This is a team. Austin Eckler. They got Isaac's whispers dumping off to tight ends too. Yes, tight ends as well. So they've got the weapons for Chase Daniels to be successful on offense here. So I'm still okay with my Chargers play. The only thing I'm worried about is getting bad CLV on this one.
All right. We'll move on along to another game. The Falcons and the Seahawks. You can find the Falcons plus 111 to plus 105. Seattle's minus 120 to minus 130. 2.5s. Twos, a 2.5 and a 1.5. I do see a 1 as well. 42s, 41.5, 43. So interesting numbers in the totals are kind of split there. Different books. This is kind of a repeat of other games that we've discussed, and that's a pass. I have no interest in betting this one. Much better games in the slate. Pass. I'll keep it simple. Nick, Falcons, Seahawks. What do you think of this one?
Oh, we get a good old-fashioned bum fight, and I can't help myself. I want the Seahawks in this game. On the money line at home here in this spot. We're getting the worst team in football on the road by pick'em. We're getting a pick'em with to fade the worst. What I think is the worst team in football on the road. Yeah, they're 2-0 to start the year again. ATS, because they caught 5.5 and they caught whatever. I like the Seahawks in this game to bounce back after getting shut down against San Fran the previous week. Their defense was so much better than what Atlanta's going to be offering this week. And my line for this game is Seattle -5. I think Seattle should be a 5-point favorite in this game, not a pick 'em. I'll take the Seahawks money line here at home.
Wow. All right. Bryant, are you there? I think he might have stepped away. We'll come back.
He stepped away for the right game.
Yeah, definitely no problem with that. But we'll jump into the next game. Of course. Oh, there he is.
He's
Brian,
back.
what do you think? For the another game of the week, Falcons and Seahawks.
I saw that the game came up, and I was like, let me go cut the Yankees game on, and so that's why I dipped away for a second. But yeah, I got nothing to add. I'm not touching this. I would lean to the Falcons, to be honest with you. For them to go, into LA and play the way they did and bounce back late in the game. Showed me some things. I don't know. I don't think they're a great team, but they seem like they're pretty scrappy. I don't think they'll have they won't be too worried about going up to Seattle and playing. But yeah, I'm sticking away from this game. So
yeah, COD time, Cardinals money line. But I thought we're supposed to fade him when COD is out.
All right, you are supposed to fade him when COD comes out.
It's a joke, though.
Okay, well. Moving on to the next game, we have the Rams and the Cardinals. I'll bring up the odds here. I shared out a stat earlier. Rams 8-1-1 against the spread against Arizona since their head coach became head coach for the Rams. But you can find Rams -175 to -190. You can find Arizona +150 to +165, -3, -3.5, -4, 48.5, and a 49 when it comes to the total. And this is another game where I haven't got to anything yet. I think the Rams win this game, but I could see them winning it by a field goal. So you could take the -3, but that's -125. Or you could do Rams money line and a parlay. I think that would probably be the best route to go about this one. But I don't want to take the Rams -3.5. They haven't quite looked like themselves yet. And this Arizona team, yes, they came back against Vegas, but I'm still not high on them. And the fact that Call of Duty is coming out makes me want to take the Rams even more. But right now, it'll just be Rams money line in a parlay for me. Bryant, Rams, Cardinals. What do you think here?
Yeah, I like the Rams to come out here, start fast, and I think that they go ahead and get it done. I got the Rams first quarter spread minus a half a point at plus 105. I've already locked that in. I saw it when I was prepping for the show. I went ahead and locked it in, and I'm sticking by it. I think they come out, start a little bit faster than they did, or they started fast against the Falcons. They just didn't finish accordingly. But I think they come out and they play a complete game from beginning to end. They win this game. I think there's value on the spread at -3.5. And I also think, like I said, I think they come out and handle business early on. So that's my play in the game. And I'm going to kind of ride that on out. So.
All right. Nick, Rams and Cardinals. What do you think here?
Yeah, this is not a game I've gotten to quite yet, but I'm leaning towards the home divisional dog once again. I think that this. I had this line around a 2, so I think this line's pretty close to where it should be. But this is a divisional home dog or pass for me at the moment.
Well, I guess all these amazing quarterbacks follow the show. We got Geno Smith, and well, I guess I shouldn't talk about. I'm sorry, Brian, but I shouldn't talk about amazing quarterbacks when this guy's in the house. No offense, but we'll move on along to the next game. This is the game of the week. I think we could probably say the game of the week here.
Yeah.
Green Bay Packers, Tampa Bay Buccaneers. You can find Green Bay at -102 to +105. Tampa Bay at -116 to -125. You can see -1, -1.5, and -2. 42 and 41.5 in the total. I'm taking the home favorites here. It looks like the odds have been changing and moving towards Green Bay for some reason. But Brady has done enough to get the job done in both games. He hasn't looked overly amazing or anything, but he's done the job that needs to be done, and Tampa's defense looks really good. So in a close game here, you're going to give me -116 to take Tampa on the money line. I like that here. I think, as Brian was saying pre-show, Julio Jones will be coming back, right?
Mm-hmm.
So Tampa will be getting another offensive piece back here. Meanwhile, Green Bay doesn't really have too much offensive pieces except for Rodgers. And yes, Green Bay did bounce back last week, but that was against the Bears. The Bucs are definitely a different team. So I like Tampa Bay at home, -116. Nick, Packers, Tampa Bay. What do you think on this one?
Yeah, I'm going to be probably on the side of Tampa in this game. Just taking them straight money line. I think is a pick 'em at this point. I had this game power ranked at, what was it? Tampa Bay -5.5. I do think that they are a much better team here, and obviously they're at home, so this is a good spot I think for them. So I really like the Buccaneers in this spot. I think that this is a Bucs team that's got better weapons on offense and defensively. I think they have the better defense as well. So, and I have a feeling this game goes under. I would lean towards the under in this game as well. But for me, it's probably going to be Buccaneers money line. I wish I jumped on that last week because I was leaning that way the whole week and then I didn't bet it. But I'm going to be on the Bucs.
Yeah, I didn't bet it because of his history against New Orleans. That's why I stayed off, but it didn't matter. IceX likes Cole Beasley anytime touchdown if he plays. Yes, if he's in the lineup, I'll probably be looking at him as well for sure. I think Brady and him will have good chemistry. Bryant, Packers, Buccaneers. What do you think here?
You're muted.
Oh, sorry. I'm gonna keep it honest with you. I'm just gonna play it simple. I like the Bucs to win the game. So I'm gonna have the Bucs in a money line parlay -125, and then I'm gonna double that up. Obviously, you got to kind of take the spread, right? It's -1.5, and you get -1. It's -110. So if you think they're gonna win, yeah, you almost gotta assume they win by at least more than a point, right? So I'm gonna do both. I think that they're a better team, more complete team, and they have a little bit more. Tom has a little bit more at his disposal than Rodgers has at his. So,
all right, we got 2 more games left before we get to best bet. So we'll be talking about Sunday night football here, and we have the San Francisco 49ers and the Denver Broncos. In this one, you can find San Francisco -115 to -125. Denver is +100 to +107. 1.5s, I see a 1 and a 2 as well. 44.5 and 45s when it comes to the total. And I'm going to do the same thing I did on last week's Sunday Night Football, and that is pass in this one. I think 49ers looked a lot better with Garoppolo at QB, but I think Denver is going to figure it out eventually. And I'm not sure if they do in this one. I don't like Denver's coaching, and I don't want to back while Hackett is running that team. I don't really want to back Denver. So this game is just going to be a pass for me. If I was forced to bet anything at all, I'd probably end up going with the 49ers, but I'll pass here. Bryant, 49ers, Broncos, Sunday Night Football. What do you think?
I'm going to be honest. I know we've made a lot of chitter chatter about Hackett. I still think the Broncos are the better team here. I'm sorry. I do. I know it might not be the sexy thing and what everyone wants to sit there and believe, but yes, Hackett is a rookie coach, but I think that they're just a better team. And because of that, I'm not going to overthink this at all. I'm going to go ahead and take the Broncos as underdogs at +105. Like, I'm sorry. And that's my only bet. I'm going to keep it simple. They're at home. They're home dogs to the 49ers with Jimmy G coming in. Like, what? Something's not right there. I might be the sucker here, and I'll own up to it, but they have the better quarterback. You can say what you want about Russ. Russ is a better quarterback than Jimmy G. Russ also has better offensive weapons collectively. I think Debo is the best offensive player on that field, but I think ultimately they have better – it's a more cohesive unit with the Broncos, and I think that Denver has enough pieces that they can figure out a way to slow down that 49ers run game and force Jimmy to throw the ball and beat them throwing the ball. That's the recipe for beating the 49ers with Jimmy G is make him like get into a run gun, sling it all around the yard type of game. I do agree Russell Wilson forgot to cook, but I think that they win this game, man. It might not be pretty, but I think they figure out a way to win this game. And I'm getting plus money with the better roster. I'll take it.
All right. Turnsy asks, did I make my announcement yet? Yes, I did. I'm happy to join the Picks and Parlays family. So I'm excited for that. That was the big announcement. Nick, Sunday Night Football, 49ers, Broncos. What do you think on this one?
Broncos country? Well, that's right. Give me the Broncos on the money line. Hell yeah. I had this game at a 4.5. Like, I don't understand why they're a dog now. I had them as 4.5-point favorites in this game. And, of course, I'm going to do exactly what I did last Sunday night and last Thursday night and last Monday night with a primetime game. You know I'm taking this game under as well because I'm going to continue to ride my primetime unders because that's just what I'm going to do this year. Every single primetime game, I'm going to bet the under, and I'm going to hit 60% doing that this year. So give me the under and give me the Broncos on the money line here.
All right. And we'll move to Monday Night Football. We have Nick's favorite team against Brian's favorite team. So this will be interesting here. And Monday Night Football, Cowboys against the Giants, division rivals, going at it here on Monday Night Football. You can get Dallas minus 105 to plus 108. You can get the Giants minus 115 to minus 126. I see minus 1.5, minus 2 available, and 39 and 39.5 in this one for Monday Night Football. My first look here is at the under, which is most likely how I'm going to play this one. And I might also be looking at the Giants kicker for points. There's no player props up as of yet. But when they are available, I'll be looking at the kicking props for the Giants because I do see a lower scoring game and I do see a couple field goals for the Giants, and that's all I need. And it's basically 2 field goals to get made. So in a lower scoring game, I tend to look at the kicking props as well. So I'll be looking at that. Who wins? I don't know. I think this could be a back and forth game where someone wins it within a field goal with a few seconds left. Whoever has the ball last might win this game. That's what I think. And I can't tell you who that's going to be right now. So for me, it's under and looking at the kicking points for the Giants kicker. Bryant, your Cowboys on the road against Knicks Giants. What's going to happen here?
Michael Parsons is going to sun a lot of the Giants' offensive line. The Giants are in like the top 10 in terms of allowing pressure rates as an offensive line. I think they're much improved than they were last year, but the Cowboys front seven is pretty damn good, man. I'm sorry. I do believe that we are a pretty damn good front seven. I think there's props right there for you if you want to do it. Take Micah Parsons sack props in some sort of form. But I like my boys, man. I really do. Our defense travels. I think a heavy dose of the run game is going to be the big thing, and Cooper Rush has got to make some throws when time comes. There's a chance that Michael Gallup is back. Some weird roster shuffling as well for the Cowboys today. One of our receivers that started opening night, he got cut out of nowhere, which I don't know why he would, other than they have to make room for someone. And I do believe that means Michael Gallup is coming back. So that's another weapon for Cooper Rush and Kellen Moore to kind of figure out how they're going to be able to attack things. And because of that, I like the Cowboys as the money line favorites at even money or wherever the best odds you can get it at, Terry. That's going to be my dog of the day, spoiler alert. But for my own betting purposes, I've got the Cowboys minus 2.5 at plus 130. That's what I'm going with. To that point, I also wouldn't be surprised if the Giants found a way to win this game. It's a division game. We don't have our starting quarterback. The one decisive edge here, gone. So, yeah. But I ultimately trust our defense. I trust our defense to get enough stops and offense to do enough. So I'm going minus 2.5 with the Cowboys on the alternate spread and at plus 130.
All right. Nick, Cowboys, Giants. What do you think happens in this one?
Shit, I had no idea the Giants were scheduled against a college team this week. That sucks. Sorry, I had to throw some type of strike out there. But no, for me in this game, I'm not betting aside. I don't think the Giants should be favorites against almost anybody right now. I get it. They're a little bit better this year, but there's still a big question mark to me. Yeah, they're 2-0. That's great. I would have preferred them catching points rather than giving points. And the Giants are still not a team I'm going to trust to lay points against many teams at the moment. Maybe like the Falcons, I would lay points against it, or someone like the Lions, I would lay points against, or like Seattle. Like I wouldn't, or Houston, I wouldn't lay points with the Cowboys here. This is a divisional game. But I am going to be on the under 39.5. It's another primetime under here. Cooper Rush is a spot and Daniel Jones is not a quarterback matchup that screams over to me. So this is going to be an underplay for me. Probably no play on the side though.
I can see this very much being exactly like the Bengals-Cowboys game. 20-17, 21-17, something like that. And I think that you honestly, the scoring might happen more so in the first half than the second half. And teams just settle in and you just have a punt fest back and forth. So I think the under is also a very live play. I would personally wait and see what happens. But I would not talk anyone out of taking under 39 right now.
Mm-hmm.
All right. We will go to the best bet segment and start with over under. For me, Buffalo team total over 28.5. Nick, you're going with Minnesota Detroit over 52.5.
Yep.
Tim is going with Denver team total under 22.5. And Icex, who is watching, he sent in Buffalo Miami under 52.5. I see 53 minus 110, so I'm going to give you that just because that's the best that's available. So you'll get under 53. Maybe I should make sure that he did say under and he didn't say over by accident. I want to make sure. Yeah, under 52.5. So we'll give him under 53 because that's what's on BetStamp. Bryant, you seem to be excited.
What did the Yankees do?
I think I'm glad I didn't take Pittsburgh first 5.
Oswaldo Cabrera just hit a grand slam, bottom of the first inning. Yankees up 4-0.
Wow. So yeah, I'm glad I stayed off Pittsburgh first 5. That's a good stay off. What do you think here for over under?
Yeah, I'm going to take the Chiefs over 27.5. Team total. That whole situation just means nothing to me. The Colts. I'm sorry, Nick. I'm sorry. I think they're going to come in there and just drop their nuts on the Colts.
Okay.
I'm going to see the odds minus 130 there. I'll see if because that's only the one book listed. I'll see if I can find better after the show.
Yeah, I was about to say mine's at minus 135, so minus 130 is fine with me. That might be the best you get.
Yeah, if it was 28.5, you'd be able to get probably much better.
Probably.
I'm going on to dog of the week here. I have dog of the day, but it is dog of the week. For me, the only dog I'm on, I'm going to be taking Pittsburgh plus the points, but I don't want to take them on the money line. And I'm on Jacksonville plus the points, but I don't want to take them on the money line. So ultimately, no dog of the week for me this week. Nick, you are going with the Indianapolis Colts plus 220. Tim, taking the Detroit Lions plus 220. Bryant, you said you're going with the Dallas Cowboys plus 108. And IceX is going with the Houston Texans plus 130. And he says yes, under. So he's on the under. Everybody might think over with those two, and maybe we do get a surprising under. I could see it. But going on to best bets for the week in the NFL. For me, my favorite bet of the week is Kansas City Chiefs minus 5.5. Nick, you were going with the Washington Commanders plus 6.5.
Yep.
Tim is going
a nice little wonky divisional home dog.
There you go. Tim's going with New York Jets plus 5. IceX is going with Chase Claypool anytime touchdown plus 340. And Bryant, what are you thinking here for a best bet?
Yeah, my best bet is what I told you earlier. It's the Baltimore win by 1 to 13 points. That's plus 153. I'm going to be so pissed if they come out and just bludgeon the Pats. I don't think that happens because it is in New England. They'll come out with some pride. So
I did look at previous history in that matchup, but I have to say there's only one game where Brady, most of it was during Brady time.
Well,
but Baltimore is 2-8 all time in New England. So they've only won 2 out of 10. Obviously, much different rosters at this point, so you can't really look at it. That's why I didn't bring it up.
Hey, the win cash exists. I just need to win, literally, and then not be more than 13 points.
There you go. And that is the football show. If you obviously tune in on Thursday tomorrow for our Thursday picks, Sunday We'll probably have more picks for you as well. Things change, but this is our early look show. So thanks everybody for watching. If you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button. If you like the content, smash the like button. We appreciate all the support. Good luck in your football bets this week, and let's all beat the Bucs. Have a good one, guys.